What is up, XRP community? Welcome back to another video. Thank you for joining me. Absolute madness in the markets today. We saw news of a fake BlackRock ETF being announced, and that's why you see this massive green wick and this massive red wick. XRP jumps, then dumps on faked BlackRock SRP trust filing. It gained 12% within 30 minutes of the news of the filing. However, it lost all of its gains in half an hour after it was confirmed to be a fake Bloomberg ETF analyst, Eric Balchunas, who spoke to BlackRock. Balchunas speculated that someone listed the XRP trust on the Delaware list of corporations by impersonating BlackRock Managing Director Daniel Schweiger. In the latest update on this fake XRP ETF filing, our only comment is that this matter has been referred to the Delaware Department of Justice. The spokesperson for the Delaware Department of State said, "Dang, someone out there is crapping their pants as we speak." And it's actually a lot easier to pull off something like this. Jeremy Hogan said, "You can spoof the information of an XRP ETF trust. It's fraud, but it's actually very easy and just costs $500. You only need to file 2 documents, pay the money, and you get a placeholder on the state website. That's all I can tell you other than good night." So XRP spiked 12% in 30 minutes. And imagine if someone had just paid $500, whoever's behind this, eventually they'll get caught. And they went and leveraged on XRP at this level of 65 cents. A 12% gain is only 12%. But if you're leveraged up 50%, 100%, 5,000%, on some of these leverage trading exchanges, you can leverage up to 100x your money. And obviously the XRP ETF news, it's an obvious bullish spike on the price chart. So there's a lot of shady stuff going on, and it's going to be interesting to see in the coming days who is the culprit behind this. Give away $10 in XRP on the channel. If you want to enter the giveaway, just like the video, subscribe, notifications on, and comment anything in the comment section below. And if you guys want $41 for free, sign up with Webull, deposit 1 penny. You can get up to $3,000 in free stocks, but you're guaranteed $41 in minimum value free stocks just for signing up and depositing 1 penny. Sell your stocks, close your account, use that money to get more XRP if you want, but don't miss out on this great offer with Webull. A link in the video description below. And CNBC even came out. Blockchain backer says CNBC intentionally calls it Ripple after later acknowledging it's supposed to be called XRP, instills doubt in the audience. LFG, the wrong footing retail financial network on the opposite side.
XRP yesterday briefly spiked almost 13% after filing for a BlackRock fund based on the cryptocurrency. Showed up on the official Delaware website that registers investment trusts incorporated in that state. The only problem, BlackRock never submitted the filing. A BlackRock spokesperson confirmed that the filing for an iShares XRP trust was false. It is unclear how that false BlackRock information ended up on the Delaware website. Could have been a great opportunity for somebody to profit.
Wow.
They managed to do that.
I still get a lot of stuff. We all on Twitter from the XRP, the XRP.
The Ripplean.
Yeah, the Rippleans. Oh, don't call it that. I don't know. They got a lot going on. A lot of things happened. Very, I don't know. They're very. They got a lot of beefs. Isn't that what you call it? Beefs. You call it beef.
A beef.
So moving on, here we have this tweet from King Doggo. A few days ago, he said, "Be careful if you want to buy more XRP. Don't chase candles, as you end up in a loss after a couple days when it does a retracement." And after the retracement today that went all the way down to 60 cents, he's still targeting this 57-cent level. So if you have some money on the sideline, that might be something to keep in mind going forward. And this came out 7 hours ago. Bitcoin bounces at 36.2K lows as CPI inflation slows beyond forecast. CPI came in 0.1% below market forecasts, both year on year and month to month. The annual change was 3.2% versus 4% for the core CPI. The all items index rose 3.2%. A smaller increase than the 3.7% increase. And that's just positive for the overall market, slowing inflation. Now, the thing to keep in mind with these numbers is it's kind of like unemployment. How true are they? How accurate are they? The CPI, an interesting thing about that, before the COVID-19 crash, which I can't talk about on here, they redefined what a recession was, and they also redefined how the CPI is calculated. You see the CPI as a basket of all these goods: food at home, energy, electricity, apparel, medical, shelter, education, etc., etc. Each one of these baskets of goods has a different weight on the price index, and they change those weights. So you got to take these numbers with a grain of salt. And the first deadline window looms for the SEC to approve Bitcoin ETFs. However, even if the SEC approves a spot Bitcoin ETF by November 17, it could be more than a month before the product launches. The expected delay in the launch following the SEC approval will be due to the two-step process of launching an ETF. For an issuer to start a Bitcoin ETF, it must get approval from the SEC Trading and Market Division. Of the 12 Bitcoin ETF applications, 9 issuers have submitted revised prospectus showing that they have communicated with the Corporate Finance Division. Keep in mind, BlackRock is filing for a Bitcoin ETF and an Ethereum ETF. Although today was a fake out about the BlackRock XRP ETF, I imagine it's just a matter of time before BlackRock does release a product like this legitimately. And it's important to keep your eye on this Bitcoin ETF, because it's going to be a big shock to the market, whether it's positive or negative. In the short term, that's up for dispute. But in the long term, the Bitcoin ETF will be positive for the market. I want to leave you with this clip from Waters Above talking about XRP technical analysis. Great YouTube channel if you don't follow him already. Just Waters Above. Take a listen.
Post, I warned actually about this overheated RSI. And on the daily chart for XRP, we had XRP rally into about 73 cents. The RSI was already at the same level as it was back on the July 13th rally when XRP was no longer deemed a security by the court. And as we're all well aware, that led to a substantial correction. Now, this time around, I don't see there being a big correction, but I do anticipate a short-term pullback during this month. So now let's identify the targets. I'm going to be getting over here to this post that I made. I shared this a couple days ago over on my Patreon right after I released my newest Red Pill podcast this Sunday. And for anyone who has recently joined my Patreon, I appreciate all your support. It really means a lot to have you join our community. What we're doing over there is going to definitely set us up for one of the most transformational bull runs in 2024. So if you're interested in joining our mastermind community, that's over at patreon.com/watersabove. That includes access to my weekly Red Pill podcasts, as well as access to our community Discord server. And also I share what I'm personally buying and selling with live investment updates. So this is one of the posts I sent out this week to expose a pattern that I've been talking about since April of this year, pretty much a half a year ago. It's how I was able to determine that XRP would break out to 80 to 90 cents during this time frame, followed by a correction, regardless of what was going on with the Ripple and this SEC case. After sharing this thesis on multiple interviews with the Bearable Bull, that's confirmed over on his channel. So if you watched any of that leading into this moment, you were definitely prepared, and anyone who prepared themselves for this move and took action according to that analysis can definitely vouch for this strategy. Also, shout out to the Bearable Bull for allowing me to share my truth over on his channel. I'm definitely looking forward to getting back in touch with him again soon. So this chart is broken down into 3 phases. They're color-coded, which compares back to early 2021 or late 2020. Over here, you had a couple of different phenomenon. You had this rise with the Flare token airdrop stuff, and then this big, deep correction because of the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. But the pattern is pretty much playing out identical from a technical perspective. And I was taking this seriously earlier this year, and it actually played out exactly how we've been expecting. So now that we've had this update and we're effectively moving into phase 3, I believe it's important that we just reevaluate what's going on here, take our emotions out of this as much as possible, and just see it with clarity. So we're currently in phase 3 compared to back here. And this is back in early 2021 before XRP went up again on this impulse to around $2 in the spring of that year during what was alt season. So we're definitely not in this exact moment. You know, I'm just saying that this setup of these 3 impulses is very much what I anticipate before leading into what could be a macro recovery for XRP. And I see XRP in 2024 making it to double digits above $10. And we'll be talking about that more later. Not important to talk about as much right now while we're still below $1. So to get to this, what happens in phase 1 is we have the 55 simple moving average cross above the 200 simple moving average. And this is regarding the 2-day chart. All of this analysis we're talking about right now is the 2-day. We rallied about 70 days after this cross to phase 2, followed by a correction down to the 200 SMA. And that is exactly what happened this time around. Look, we have this crown top on phase 1, crown top on phase 1. Looks the same. We had this cross of the 55 above the 200, cross in the 55 and 200. We back tested it. Rode on the 55, impulse to the upside. Rode on the 55, impulse to the upside. Correct back to the 200, correct back to the 200. It is the same. Look at the amount of time we rode on the 200 here. Same as this time. We got the retests on tails. So what we need to pay attention to is just the cyclicality of this pattern. It's exactly happening this way too. Then what triggers phase 3 is a 2-day candle close above the 55 simple moving average on the 2-day chart. And as you can see in this last iteration, after the short-term rally, we had a back test or a retest on the 55 simple, and we held it as a support before the next impulse. That's important. Now, if you really dial it in, if we were to revisit that exact time in February of 2021 when this was happening, XRP topped out here on the February new moon and then corrected into the 55 simple moving average during the full moon. Then it traded sideways over here, essentially into the following new moon. So what that means this time around is our new moon is on November 13th, about 5 days away. And our current full moon is on November 27th. And during today's decode, I've already explained the significance of late November into the beginning of December. This not only gives us a price target to consider, which is the 2-day 55 simple moving average, but also a time frame of when to expect the retest. So for those people out there that say you can't use any system to time the market, well, you haven't been paying attention to this channel clearly. We're not trying to be in that energy of I told you so or we have the truth. It's just that we are taking the time to really analyze this esoterically. Not only esoterically though, taking the gematria, numerology, and astrology and comparing it to what we're also seeing in these charts to have a holistic system. Now, as of today, if I was to revisit the XRP 2-day chart, we're going to see that our 55 simple moving average, it's up here in white. It's at about 56 cents. It could very well slope to the upside between now and the full moon. And between the 2-day and the 3-day charts for XRP, all of our key moving averages are around 56 to 58 cents. Consider these levels can be swiped through in a 4-hour candle, then XRP can be right back up to 62 or 64 cents and trade sideways in the current range of 60 to 70 cents into the new year. So think about that. Before the end of this month, we can come down slightly below 60 or around 60, quickly get bought back up to like 63, 62, 65, range below 70, and then stay sideways until getting into the year of 2024. Now, after early 2024, moving into February, March, April, I believe XRP is going to be very bullish, and it's going to be reminiscent of this move right here, which we would call phase 4, or the start of what will be our new bull cycle for XRP.